What if the real secret to getting what you want wasn't about, grinding harder, but about fundamentally shifting who you believe you are?
Hmm.
Or picture this, a direct path to your biggest aspirations, one that's built from the inside out. Sound intriguing.
It definitely does. And
Mm.
what we're exploring today is exactly that, this powerful idea of your self-concept.
Right.
That complete tapestry of beliefs, perceptions, and assumptions you hold about yourself. It's your internal compass, really.
The core identity bit, answering, who am I?
Exactly. And according to this guide we're diving into, the Self-Concept Manifestation Guide,
Mm.
rewire your identity, transform your reality. It acts as the very blueprint for the reality you experience.
Yeah, the architect of your reality, I think it calls it. And this isn't just theory, right? Our deep dive today is based on that guide.
hmm
It offers practical tools, daily rituals, empowering exercises, basically helping you reprogram your subconscious mind.
And the really transformative part, I think, is that by understanding and intentionally shaping this self-concept, you can unlock profound changes, like in all areas of your life.
Relationships, career, health, wealth. The guide mentions all of those.
Right. So our goal here in this deep dive is to pull out the essential wisdom from the Self-Concept Manifestation Guide.
Make it clear.
Yeah, make it clear how you, listening right now, can begin to consciously shape this internal identity to create a more fulfilling life without getting, totally bogged down.
Okay, let's get into it then. What is self-concept, according to the guide? Lay it out for us.
Well, the guide defines it as that deeply rooted system of beliefs. It's sitting there in your subconscious.
Okay.
It's not just your surface thoughts, it's like the foundation. It influences how you see things, the opportunities you notice or don't notice.
How you communicate, even.
Absolutely. How you connect with others, and fundamentally, what you believe is actually possible for you. It's like the operating system running your personal reality.
So it's the filter for everything that happens to us.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker, the really fascinating part. The guide hammers this home. While your self-concept might feel fixed, like that's just who I am,
Yeah, we all say that sometimes.
right? But it's actually learned, formed by childhood, past experiences,
Mm.
stuff like that. And the crucial insight, the key, is that it's malleable. You can change it.
Malleable. Okay.
You can revise it, upgrade it. The guide puts it beautifully. When you understand that your identity is malleable rather than fixed, you unlock the most powerful manifestation tool available, the ability to choose who you are.
Choose who you are. Wow, that sounds incredibly powerful. So how does choosing our identity actually help us get what we want, our goals?
Well, the core idea in the guide is this. You consciously align your self-concept with the version of you who already has what you desire.
Okay.
And when you do that, you naturally start to think, feel, and act in ways that draw those experiences to you. It's about authentic becoming.
Becoming that person inside first.
Exactly. Not just, putting on a show externally.
Yeah, that makes way more sense than just fake it till you make it. It's internal transformation driving external results. Okay, now the guide mentions the law of assumption. What's that about?
Right. The law of assumption. Neville Goddard talked a lot about this, and the guide highlights it. Essentially, it says, whatever you assume to be true about yourself, about the world, becomes your reality.
Your assumptions become reality.
Yeah. They act like powerful perception filters. Think of your brain's reticular activating system. It filters information based on what it deems important. Your assumptions tell it what's important.
So they influence what you notice.
What you notice, your emotions, how you behave, it leads to self-fulfilling prophecies, basically.
Can you give an example from the guide? Make it concrete.
Sure. The guide contrasts assumptions like, I'm just not good with money, versus, say, I effortlessly attract loving relationships.
Okay, big difference there.
Huge difference. If you assume you're bad with money, your brain looks for evidence. You might miss opportunities, make cautious choices that keep you stuck. But if you assume love comes easily,
You're more open, maybe? More receptive?
exactly. You interact differently,
Yeah.
you project a different energy, and you likely experience more positive relationship outcomes. Your assumption shapes the experience.
So our core beliefs kind of set the boundaries for what we even allow ourselves to see or experience.
You got it. And the guide connects this to neuroscience too. Neuroplasticity.
Ah, the brain changing itself.
Right. The brain's ability to rewire itself. When you consistently think certain thoughts, assume certain truths, you literally strengthen the neural pathways for that reality. It's like carving a path in a forest. The more you use it, the clearer it gets.
What's really striking is how different this is from just, setting goals and making action plans.
It is different. The focus shifts. It's less about doing more and more about becoming more.
Becoming aligned with the goal.
Yes. That's why, as this self-concept manifestation guide points out, two people can do the exact same things but get totally different results.
Yeah.
Their underlying self-concept is either helping or hindering them.
So it's the assumption underneath the action.
Precisely. The guide sums it up. It is not what you do, but what you assume that creates your reality.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. Self-concept, assumptions. Very powerful. But how do we actually change this stuff? Shifting identity, rewiring the subconscious sounds like a huge job.
It's definitely a process, yeah. But the self-concept manifestation guide breaks it down nicely. First, you got to appreciate the subconscious mind.
The powerhouse.
Totally. The guide calls it this vast operating system. Stores your identity, runs like 95% of your life on autopilot. It processes millions of bits of data per second, way more than our conscious mind.
Wow. Okay, so how do we talk to this giant operating system?
Well, the guide explains that the subconscious doesn't really distinguish between vivid imagination and actual reality.
Really?
Yeah. If you give it strong mental impressions, especially ones packed with real feeling, real emotion, it takes them as instructions. Like, okay, this is the reality we're building now.
So that's where identity shifting comes in.
Exactly. It's the consistent mental and emotional rehearsal of the new you, the desired self-concept.
So things like affirmations, visualization, they aren't just wishful thinking.
Not according to this guide. They're presented as deliberate programming tools, potent ones.
Okay.
The guide even mentions brain studies, showing mental rehearsal lights up similar brain areas as actual physical practice. You're laying down the tracks, neurologically speaking, for this new identity.
And the guide has that four-step process for shifting identity.
It does, yeah. Awareness, intention, repetition, and embodiment.
Okay, break those down briefly.
Sure. Awareness is just recognizing your current limiting beliefs, seeing them clearly. Intention is consciously choosing the new identity you want. Who do you want to be?
Right.
Repetition is about drilling in those new beliefs, using the tools consistently until they feel natural. And embodiment, that's living from that new feeling place, acting as if.
Acting from it, maybe?
Exactly. Acting from it. We can definitely dive into the tools for repetition and embodiment next.
Perfect. Let's get practical. The Self-Concept Manifestation Guide offers tools for reprogramming. Affirmations are a big one, right? We hear about them all the time. How does the guide suggest using them effectively?
Right, affirmations. The guide frames them as positive statements, always in the present tense, declaring your new self-concept as if it's already true right now.
Declaring it as fact.
Exactly. And it links them directly back to neuroplasticity. By repeatedly feeding your mind these statements with feeling, you strengthen the neural pathways for that new identity, and you weaken the old ones.
The guide has examples, right? For different life areas, self-worth, success, relationships.
It does. Really helpful ones. For self-worth, maybe something like, I am inherently worthy of love and abundance, or I unconditionally deserve all good.
Powerful.
For success and prosperity, maybe I am a natural magnet for wealth, or money flows to me easily and consistently. For relationships, I attract deep, fulfilling connections, or my relationships are supportive and joyful.
So it's not just saying nice things, it's about feeling it, imprinting it.
Feeling it is key. But the guide also says not all affirmations hit the mark equally. There are criteria.
Okay, what makes an affirmation stick?
3 things, according to the Self-Concept Manifestation Guide: believability, present tense, and evoked emotion.
Believability first, so it can't be too out there.
Right. If your conscious mind instantly rejects it, screams, no way, it won't sink in. It needs to feel at least a little plausible. Present tense, we covered always I am, not I will be.
Got it. Signals it's true now.
Exactly. And the big one, evoked emotion. You have to feel it. Emotion is like the glue for the subconscious. The guide talks about emotional rehearsal, actively feeling the truth of the statement as you say it.
What if it just feels fake? That believability hurdle. The guide mentions bridging affirmations.
Yes, great point. If a statement feels like too big a jump, use bridging affirmations. They soften it.
Like what?
Things like, I am in the process of becoming more confident, or I'm increasingly open to attracting wealth, or I am willing to believe I am lovable. They bridge the gap.
Okay, that feels more manageable if you're starting out. Super useful. What other tools does the guide recommend?
Several really good ones. Scripting is one.
Writing things down.
Yeah, but specifically writing from the perspective of your future self. Describing your ideal life, day, whatever, as if it's already happened. With lots of sensory detail, what you see, hear, feel, making it vivid.
Making it real for the subconscious.
Exactly. Then there's mirror work.
Looking in the mirror and talking to yourself.
Sounds a bit weird, maybe, but the guide says it's powerful. You look right into your own eyes and speak your affirmations. It bypasses some mental filters, connects more directly, especially, it says, when you're relaxed, like just waking up or before sleep. Alpha state.
Interesting. What else?
Inner conversations. This is about consciously directing your internal chatter.
The voice in your head.
Yeah. You mentally rehearse conversations where people are confirming your new reality, or you practice thinking as your ideal self would think in different situations.
Actively managing the inner dialogue.
And then there's something called glamour magic.
Glamour magic.
Yeah.
Sounds magical.
Well, it's not spells. It's about using your external world clothes, your environment, music as anchors, things that make you feel like that desired self, creating sensory cues that reinforce the new identity.
So, dressing the part, setting the mood, embodying it physically and environmentally.
You got it. It's a really holistic approach the guide suggests.
It really sounds like using a mix of these tools is the way to go.
Absolutely. The guide definitely leans towards combining them. Maybe mirror work in the morning, managing inner talk during the day, scripting at night, using those glamour anchors.
Creates a more immersive experience.
Exactly. And again, the guide stresses consistency over intensity. Little bits, often. That's what builds momentum and makes the change stick. Regular practice is more effective than one massive session every now and then.
Okay, consistency is king. So we're using affirmations, scripting, maybe mirror work. What about visualization? How does that fit specifically into reshaping self-concept?
Visualization, according to the Self-Concept Manifestation Guide, is way more than just daydreaming. It's framed as active mental rehearsal.
Repairing the nervous system.
Yes. It prepares your nervous system to recognize and attract what you want. When you do it effectively, engaging senses and emotions, your subconscious starts accepting it as real.
So what makes visualization effective, according to the guide? Key elements.
Several key things. First, visualize in first person. See it through your own eyes, not watching yourself like in a movie. That's more impactful neurologically.
Okay, first person, got it.
Second, multisensory. What do you see, hear, feel, emotionally and physically smell, taste? The more senses, the realer it feels.
Immerse yourself.
Exactly. Third, and this is crucial, feel the feelings, the joy, the relief, the confidence of already having it. Emotion is the engine. And finally, specific details. Make it concrete, not vague. Specificity tells your brain it's a real attainable thing.
The guide mentions a day in the life visualization. What's that?
Yeah, that's a great technique. You mentally walk through a typical day in your desired reality. From waking up, feeling how you want to feel, through the day's activities, to going to sleep satisfied.
The whole day, not just the highlights.
Right. Include the normal moments too. It makes it feel more grounded, more real. The guide suggests doing this daily until it feels completely natural, almost expected.
So, mentally rehearsing the desired future. But then there's embodiment. How does that piece fit in? It sounds important.
It's critical. Visualization is the inner rehearsal. Embodiment is bringing that new identity into your physical expression now.
How you act.
How you move, how you speak, the clothes you choose, the decisions you make. The guide suggests asking yourself constantly, how would the version of me who already has X think, feel, act right now?
And then doing that.
And making the conscious effort to do that, to act from that place. It's about being that future self in your present moments.
It sounds like it's less about perfection and more about practice. Consistent effort.
Totally. The guide is clear. Embodiment is ongoing practice, not a one-off. Every time you consciously choose to align your thoughts, feelings, actions with that desired self, you're strengthening those neural pathways. It gets easier, more natural over time.
Consistency again. That thing keeps popping up. How does the guide talk about daily rituals for supporting this?
It calls consistency the secret ingredient for lasting change. Daily rituals give you the structure. They make sure this identity shifting isn't just something you think about, but something you actively do, embedding it into your routine.
Does the guide give examples of these rituals?
It does. Pretty specific ones, like a morning ritual, maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. What's in it?
About 5 minutes of mirror work affirmations, feeling it, then 5 minutes visualizing your ideal day unfolding, and maybe 5-10 minutes journaling as your future self.
Starting the day aligned.
Exactly. Then a quick midday reset, just 2,000 minutes.
What's that involve?
Maybe a minute of conscious breathing to recenter. A minute or two repeating a key affirmation with feeling. Then another minute consciously shifting your posture, your energy, to match your desired self.
A quick realignment.
Breaking up the day, preventing
Uh,
slippage,
right. And an evening integration, maybe 10, 15 minutes.
wrapping up the day.
Yeah. Spending a few minutes on gratitude,
Mm.
specifically noticing any evidence, however small, of your new reality showing up. Then 5 minutes of that day in the life visualization. And finally, a couple of minutes setting an intention for your subconscious while you sleep, telling it what you want it to work on.
These rituals sound like they're timed strategically. Morning, midday, evening.
They are. The guide points out these transition times: waking, midday pause, before sleep, or when your mind is often more receptive. Morning sets the tone, midday resets keep you on track. Evening integrates and primes the subconscious for sleep.
And besides these scheduled rituals, there was something about identity checkpoints. Yes, those are like mini check-ins you sprinkle throughout your day. Just pause for a second and ask, am I thinking, feeling, acting like my desired self right now?
And if not,
Make a small adjustment, a micro shift. Straighten your posture, change your thought, take a deep breath. These little corrections are really powerful for keeping the momentum going and stopping old patterns from creeping back in.
makes sense. Consistent, small adjustments.
Yeah, the guide really drives home that even 5 minutes a day done consistently is way more impactful than long sessions done sporadically.
Okay, to really nail this down, the Self-Concept Manifestation Guide uses some examples of identity shifts. Can you share one or two? Show how it works practically.
Absolutely. Let's take relationships. A limiting self-concept might be, I'm hard to love, I always get rejected. Pretty common fear.
Yeah.
The guide suggests shifting to an empowered concept like, I am deeply lovable and I easily attract healthy, fulfilling relationships.
Okay. So what happens then?
Well, the external manifestation could be that person starts carrying themselves differently. More confidence, they express their needs better. And surprise, surprise, they start attracting partners who actually value them.
The inner shift creates the outer change. What about for money? Wealth.
Another common one, limiting belief. Making money is a struggle. I have to work myself to the bone.
Feel that one.
Right. The empowered self-concept from the guide could be, I am a magnet for prosperity. Abundance flows to me easily and consistently.
And the result?
Someone embodying that might start noticing opportunities they missed before. Maybe unexpected money shows up. They feel less stressed about finances, make decisions from a place of abundance, not lack.
These examples really drive it home. The internal shift has to lead to external changes. The guide mentions a pattern to this.
Yes, it highlights a clear pattern. First, identify the limiting belief. Get specific. Second, choose the new empowering belief. Decide who you want to be. Third, install it using the tools, affirmations, visualization, etc. consistently. And fourth, embody it, live it, act from it.
Identify, choose, install, embody.
That's the loop.
Yeah.
And like the guide says, your life is a living manifestation of your self-concept. As you transform within, your outer reality must transform to match. It has to.
It's also good that the guide mentions this isn't always linear. Setbacks or regressions are normal.
Oh, definitely.
Uh-huh.
It acknowledges shifts happen in layers. You might feel really aligned one day, then slip back into old thinking the next. That's okay. It's part of the process.
So don't beat yourself up.
No.
Hmm.
The key is just to notice it. Gently redirect yourself back to the empowered identity. Keep reinforcing it. Eventually it becomes dominant, your new normal. The goal isn't perfection. It's increased awareness and conscious choice over who you are being.
This has been incredibly illuminating. A real deep dive into how powerful our self-concept is. It truly feels like the power to change our reality starts right inside us with who we decide to be. And for you listening, if you want to explore all this further, get those practical tools, the daily ritual steps, the exercises we've talked about, I really have to recommend checking out the source. It's the Self-Concept Manifestation Guide. Rewire your identity. Transform your reality by celestial awakening. It lays it all out.
It really does provide a clear, actionable path, taking charge of your inner world to change your outer world. A powerful roadmap.
So, as we wrap up, here's something to think about. Now that you understand this power of your self-concept, what's maybe just one limiting belief you feel ready to start revising? Just one. Or try this. Imagine for a moment fully embracing the identity of your highest potential. What would that actually look and feel like day to day? This deep dive explored the foundation. So what small, consistent action will you take, maybe even starting today, to consciously begin rewiring your internal world?
Great questions to ponder.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.